1 minute. When you're done, just turn your paper over, put your pencil down, turn your paper over, and put your pencil down when you're done. Okay, would you please exchange papers with classmate? Just pass them around. Doesn't matter who gets whose. Okay? Would you please read the questions on your own and answer the questions?
How do you answer the questions?
You can write them at the bottom of your paper. Like we
Or you
did.
can
Got this. It says how old did he? It doesn't say which person.
How old was he when he died? Did
I don't
he
know
have kids?
who's he.
Oh, you
Jackie Robinson.
can, okay, you can ask him. No, I'm sorry, Sam, would you move your note back, your notebook over here? Yeah, there you go. Anybody else have any questions about somebody else's questions?
Maybe I can just say them in public.
You wanna do that? We've done that
What are you
before.
doing?
Let's do that. Nolan, Nolan,
What's he
Let's-
doing?
Nolan,
Answering your questions.
he's answering your questions. You're to write on the piece of paper. Donish would like to read them out loud and then answer them. So we did that yesterday.
I don't know if she like it.
We do it differently today, but we can do that. I can be flexible. What?
I don't know about the second question.
Then you know what? It's not a test. If you know the answer, write the answer. If you don't, then you don't know that yet. Okay? And what's your,
Put this?
you can, or you just don't have to answer it.
I
Okay? And what's
can.
what's the second question you have there,
Why did
Nolan?
the teacher talk about Robinson?
Why? Oh, that's a good question. Does anybody know the answer to that question? We can discuss that together.
I don't know about did he have kids. These are all questions.
Well, what was Nolan's question that he just read? What was Nolan's question that he read out loud?
Why did the teacher
Talk about Robinson.
Right. Does anyone know why Mrs. Rappaport? Nolan? Let's see. Do you know why Mrs. Rappaport spoke about? You don't. You wrote that, right?
No judge did.
Oh, let's give Sam a chance to answer.
Well, I think because they were interested in it and they were saying his name and she decided to talk about him.
Okay. What do you think? What was your answer? When someone is speaking, please look at the person who's speaking. Nolan?
I think I disagree because my answer to the question is, sir, they were talking about because Shirley was
Because Shirley what?
Shirley because they were talking about Jack Robinson because Shirley won a game.
Oh, because she won the game. Well, that's part true also. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and you can disagree. We talked about respectfully disagreeing, right? Nolan, do you know why the class was talking about Jackie? You don't know yet. All right. Okay, what's another question you were asked? So we're going to use these questions and pay attention to when we're reading if we find the answers to those questions. What's another question someone asked?
Who is Jackie Robinson?
Okay.
I didn't write that.
Who?
I didn't.
Anybody write that? What's a
No.
question that somebody wrote?
Well,
He wrote, how old was Jackie Robinson when he died? I
Okay.
think he was 89.
You think he was 80?
No,
No, never mind. No, I
no,
don't
he
think
was 53.
He was 53.
Yeah.
All right.
he was 53 when he died.
Well, we need to go back and check the book, and we can read together.
It didn't say when he died. It just said he's just handsome. Well, I don't know much about him. I don't
That's
know.
right, you don't. We're learning. Good. That's good. What else do you have? What's another question?
Did he have kids?
Did he have kids? Do we know that yet? I think we have a lot of questions about Jackie Robinson. So we will read today and see if we learn any more, and then later in this week, friends, well, I wish, but what did you already tell us about Jackie Robinson?
Very handsome.
Well, he's very handsome, but what else did
Dreamy.
you tell us? What else did you, what date were you trying to figure out?
He died.
Well, so do you think Jackie
The
Robinson's coming to talk
author's
to us?
coming?
Hmm?
The author's coming?
The author is not coming, but we are going to watch the author. We're gonna watch something so you can hear the author speak, like we did about Toscanini. So we have a surprise speaker during the week, and
Who is
at the
it?
end of the week, and you can be thinking who it might be.
I know who it is.
So for right
The
now,
author.
put your questions, hand me your questions, and we'll
Give me
check
that.
them tomorrow to see if we learn the answers today. All right? Okay, Nolan, may I have yours, please? Nolan, may I have your questions, please? Thank you. Okay, what did you choose as next on your schedule?
Movement break.
Okay, let's go take a quiet skip to the water fountain. So we've already talked about Jackie Robinson a little bit. So let's get to our questions. We talked at the beginning of the week about writing some questions for my sister and her children who live where?
Shanghai.
Where's Shanghai?
Where is Shanghai?
China.
It's in China. So what are some questions that you boys might like to know, some things you might like to know
About China.
about Zachary and Rachel, because they did the opposite that Shirley did. Zachary and Rachel went from West Hartford, Connecticut to Shanghai,
I have a
China.
question. When did you guys
Thank you
go?
for raising your hand.
Like, I thought we were doing, is it that third and we only did number one? Do we do who is Jackie Robinson?
We talked about it a little bit. We're going to go, we used your questions and we're going to read. And did you want to add something before we,
No. Are we gonna go over our homework today?
are we going to go over the homework? Would you like to do that now?
Yes.
And we'll hold off on our questions?
What day is it?
I would prefer to give you an opportunity, I'm glad you brought it up, to save your homework, I meant to tell you that, for Thursday or Friday when our speaker comes.
Oh.
So you can share what you know about Jackie Robinson with the person who's going to tell you even more than we know. All right?
Who could it be?
That's something
Shirley
for you to
Temple.
think about.
You guys raising your hands.
That might be, like, I don't know, I feel like it could be the author. It has to be someone who had volunteered to do it.
Right, Nolan?
Shirley Temple.
She's not,
What do we know about Shirley Temple?
That she's Chinese and that she moved to North America.
This Shirley Wong, yes, she did. See, remember, Nolan joined us a little bit late. The Shirley Temple, that's the actress that we had read about, she's passed away, so she won't be coming.
She died.
But, and the character won't be coming. Yeah. Okay, Donish,
Who's gonna be coming?
that's a surprise. Everybody's participating like a double S. So, what are the questions you might like to know about the kids going to school in China? Sam?
do they eat food that's way different than in America?
Do you eat food
That's a lot different than in America.
that is a lot different than is America? All right, I see Nolan's got his hand up.
That's a great
Donish,
question, Sam.
patience. Good question.
So do they have fire? Do they ever have fire drills?
That's a very good question, Nolan. Can I say, do you have fire drills? You mean at their school?
Yeah, like the alarm with the light or the ding ding ding.
Right, it's a good
ding,
question.
ding,
I
ding,
wonder if they
ding.
do. Okay, thank you for raising your hand, Donish.
What school do they go to?
Very good question. What school do you go to? Okay, Sam, I saw your hand up.
Well, I'm not sure of the question. Well, I was gonna
Thank
say,
you, Nolan, I'm gonna hold these for you.
is their school way different than schools in America?
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Is it also much, is it a lot different there?
Is what a lot different?
is the place that there is really high, nothing like the city?
Think about your question. Think about your question. Remember when we wrote the other day about detailed paragraphs? Be detailed. When you walk into our classroom, where do you sit?
At the round table. Well, not at my desk.
You sit at the round table or you sit at a desk, right, Donish? Where do you think they sit in their classroom?
The same?
I don't know. Do they have, what might be some questions you have?
Where do we live? Like what house?
What house? Think about the houses we talked about. So what do you want to know about their house?
Do they live in a straw house?
Oh, all right.
Like a temple.
Scared me.
Do they live in a straw house? Very nice. That's a good question. What's another question? That's a very specific, detailed question. Nolan, do you have a question? Let's put that down, please. Thank you. Nolan?
What?
Do you have a question?
No. Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
How are the teachers like there? Are they nice or are they mean?
Okay. Are teachers? Would you say that again?
Do you wear different clothes than we do?
Do you wear?
Different clothes.
Do you wear uniform?
Okay. Another question?
I don't.
Sorry, now I want to. Okay, Sam.
This is kind of like one of the questions. Do they play the same sports?
Oh, good. Do you play the same sports? Okay, Nolan, do you have a question? We have one more question to ask Zachary and Rachel.
Do you ever read books or have movies? Were electricity invented? Did you ever have popcorn?
That's good. When they watch movies, what do you think? Do you think their movies are, do they watch American movies? Do they watch?
Chinese.
What do you think?
Maybe they watch the same movies. And do you watch the same movies?
What about the movies are you curious?
Well, do they say the movies do they say some of them in Chinese?
Okay, so do you watch movies that are in Chinese? I wonder, I just thought of one more.
Oh.
There.
How,
How do you get from one place to another?
well, you asked that, which is a good one, but how did they get from the United States?
To China.
How? Nolan, put that down, please. Did you? Nolan, put that down, please. Hands to yourself. How did you get from the United States to China? Okay, nice job, boys. All right, where did we leave off yesterday?
I don't know.
I am glad you have your book today. Thanks, Nolan. Can you hand that to me? Thank you. Okay. Who remembers where we left off?
Died, I think.
I think we were at Ray.
What was the last thing that happened?
I think we may be on 90 or 91.
91.
You have us on 91?